Am raw to the bone. I am sweaty. I just got off my bike, ran to get my coffee. So don't judge me, y'all. I'm going to get these 30 minutes in for myself. All right. But in the meantime, between time, I'm going to start y'all out with some positive vibes while I set up. Because you know what I say. It's going to be a what?
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun.
Hey.
Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got
shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation.
One step at a time.
Yeah, that's how you
Come
make
on,
it.
set a goal.
You control and the steps you take. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration.
Come on.
And if I make a mistake, it's called education.
I try to do this every day, call it replication. Hey.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up,
Today's gonna be a good day.
wake up,
Today's gonna be a
good
day.
day. Wake up,
Today's gonna be a
good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up,
Today's gonna be a good day.
life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though.
What?
Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm not,
Other times I'm barely breathing, y'all. I got
always gotta
fight knives from the demons, y'all.
Negative thoughts and poison the ride.
Hey.
Head full of thoughts, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap.
All the bad for the good.
In my head when I'm
So what do we do? What?
So I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence.
A flow, you broke, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes
temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation.
I live my life in my head.
Like a narration.
Don't expect greatness through my best, man. I take it.
Wake up.
Hey.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Hey, good morning, Cheryl. I'm gonna have to play this again because I need to hear it again. I need to hear that again because I need to remind y'all that it's gonna be a what?
Step one,
A good day.
wake up early, gonna rise
Because
with the sun.
some of y'all
Get some good, some food in you.
y'all need to hear this again. Get some
Grow
food
hard
in
about what
you.
wanna be. Step four,
Okay?
everybody just do your thing.
Hey.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good
Sometimes we gotta hear it twice.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations.
Did y'all do it?
The aftermath of preparation.
Good food, good
mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it.
Set a goal.
You control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration.
And if I make a mistake,
it's called education.
I try to do this every day.
Call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Good morning,
Today's
Pat.
gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a
good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season. Yo.
Hey.
Sometimes I'm not.
Other times I'm barely breathing, y'all.
You always gotta
Fight knives from the demons, y'all.
Negative thoughts and poison.
Good morning, Dale.
Head full of thoughts, so he come and vibes.
Hey,
They'll never stop unless I can swap
all the bad for the good.
in my head when I'm lost.
So what do we do?
So I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time. It's how you operate a cadence.
A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes
temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation.
I live my life in my head
like a narration.
Don't expect greatness through my best, man. I'm taking what?
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up,
yes, come on.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Step 2. Step 3. Step 4. Hey y'all, hey, good morning. Happy Thursday as the week goes by. How many days before we are leaving for the summer soiree? 27? Did I say everybody was paid? Did I say that? You know what? Shame the fuck on me. I should have been, I didn't really promote the trip as aggressive as I should have because I really, really tried to leave it open for the Coffee with Friends people to go, right? I left the space for them, right? Because I didn't want a lot of non-Coffee with Friends people to join in on the trip, and it takes away from the, what we built here on this platform, especially being our first international trip. But baby, I should have advertised. Because now that I'm advertising a little bit more and I'm throwing some sauce into the advertisement, I got people like, oh man, maybe I could jump on last minute. And I'm like, come on. So I'm hoping, I got interesting parties that are looking to onboard to the trip at the last moment. Some people got money like that. They could just cough up $1,200 like at a drop of a hat and just go. And that's okay. Right? There is plenty of room, I hope, for more people to join in, right? The more, the fucking merrier. Okay, so I hope I get some other additional last minute folks to join in. And these folks are not strangers to me, right? So these folks that are showing interest to hop on the trip at the last moment, they gonna flow right in with the personality that we are bringing. I'm not worried about that at all. All right. And so I hope we get more people, y'all. I'm so fucking excited. So let me tell y'all what I've done so far to start preparing for the trip. I need to make sure these two papers are hooked to my side, right? Because I need to make sure I have everything that I'm supposed to bring, right? So far, so y'all could be proud of me while other people gather. We got late bloomers this morning. And I know because I'm inconsistent a lot of times. Sometimes I'm on here at 8, sometimes I'm on here after, sometimes I don't fucking show up. I get it. But let me tell y'all how far I got with the packing. All my clothes are packed. Listen, I'm ashamed of me. My suitcase looked great, by the way. I got a lot of space in my suitcase because I didn't pack a lot of clothes. Like I told y'all, I wasn't going to pack a lot of clothes. But we are literally going from August 10th to August 15th. That is 5 days and 4 nights. How many bathing suits you think I need? I am up to 9 bathing suits. How the fuck am I going to wear 9 bathing suits? Tell me, y'all, I'm going to have to change twice a day at minimum. And some days 3 times. Have a different bathing suit for the jacuzzi. I don't the fuck know. But I have 9 bathing suits. And I sat in front of my suitcase yesterday. The funny shit is 7 of the bathing suits are already in my suitcase. 2 of them I'm waiting to get delivered. And you know what? I was like, this don't make no fucking sense. Did I need those additional 2 bathing suits? And I said, yes. 9 bathing suits, y'all. It don't make no damn sense. Then I called my girlfriend, right? Because then I had an idea. about, because like, my style is, I don't know how to describe my style. I'm a boho. I'm boho-ish. So bohemian is my shit. Like, I love bohemian style. Like, so a lot of my looks will, inspired by bohemian designs. Okay. I don't always have bohemian clothing on, but the way I put it together sometimes, it gives off that boho-ish look. That is my shit. I am wildflower boho-ish to the core. And so I called a friend of mine who does jewelry. And I always call her and ask her for some odd type of jewelry that I want her to make, right? And I called her yesterday and I said, listen, I need you to make something for me. And I need it before my trip for August 10th. And she was like, don't worry. And what I want her to make for me, hey, Angel, I'm sitting here talking about the trip now. What I asked her to make for me, I have to be measured for. And so I'm going to go over to her house on Sunday because I love to have original pieces. Now, I'm not saying once she creates this original piece for me that other people can't buy it or order it from her. That's going to be completely up to her. All right. But I love to give her, designs inspired by Raw. And so I called her yesterday because I wanted her to make me a body piece of jewelry. And so I'm excited to see how it comes out. I'm not even going to describe it to y'all because I don't want to get my hopes up and it doesn't work out. But I'm hoping to get that done. All right. And so if y'all like it, I'm sure she'll let y'all order it. It's going to be a custom order. All right. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if she's even going to offer it based on how it comes out for me. Happy Thursday, Johnny. Yes, that I'm glad Angel jumped on. I'm waiting for Aquanda to come on. So Angel and Aquanda, I pinged y'all in Discord this morning and I asked you guys how are you guys doing? Because in Chicago, at Chicago O'Hare Airport, I see people are sheltered in place because there's a tornado warning. They actually videoed the tornado dropping out the sky. How are you guys doing? Wait, Angel, not you're used to it. What the fuck? What do you mean you're used to it? I saw that cloud. That shit was coming down like the Wizard of fucking Oz. I was like, somewhere over the fucking rainbow, somebody's going to Munchkin Land. That shit looked dangerous. Oh, okay, Angel. Well, baby, I'm glad you're okay. I need Aquanda to check in. I pinged both Aquanda and Angel this morning. I don't know who else that joins the show was from Chicago. I know they are. So people, let's just try to continue to get Aquanda. I was praying for them too, Deb, So let's try to get Aquanda. Hopefully she'll join in. You said that shit happens every year. I'm listen. What was the old lady's name on the Wizard of Oz? Anna Mae. I would be fuck that. I would be calling my mama. That shit look dangerous. Well, I'm glad we need to get Aquanda on here. Okay, I can't. We need to get Aquanda on here because I love y'all. Okay, so until Aquanda gets on here, anybody want to ping her? Anybody got her number? Whatever the case may be, I pinged on Discord already. So, yep, it was Chicago, Johnny. They were fucking squeezed up in that airport. They were. Okay, so, I forgot these. All right, so back to the trip. Now that Angel is on, Valerie is on. Everybody is paid, y'all. All right. And I mentioned on here before y'all jump on here that somebody inboxed me last night. They're looking at the prices. Now they're thinking about onboarding at the last minute because, my juicy advertisements are floating around and now people are interested. I should have been advertising aggressively. I'm sorry I didn't do that. But you know what? I'm kind of glad that we're not a large population for the first international trip, because it's a lot for me as a one man band to pull this off. And I'm really hoping that you guys give me grace and we have the best time, because it's, I'm trying to make it an organized trip, but when you got one person trying to put it together, it's a lot. I do have help, my girlfriend Maria, but she gets to the resort a day after me. My activities start the day of. Hey, Aquanda, the fuck? About time, we were worried. Are you okay with the tornado? The fuck? People are sheltered in place. Angel already was on her bike, so we know she good. Checking in, boo. Listen, FYI, please, can we start a tradition that if there is a major storm or some kind of major catastrophe, everybody that's here, can y'all just go into Discord and check that you motherfuckers are safe? For real, because as you can see, we love y'all. We care. Okay? We love y'all. We care. Okay, Aquanda, please, can we all agree? In the future, hurricane, tornado, blackouts, if you got power on your phone, please go into Discord and mark yourself safe so that we know. Because believe you me, I was worried about my Chicago peeps, all right? And I'm glad that y'all are okay, all right? Love y'all. Deb, thank you. I mean, I'm trying to advertise for the shit. I'm trying to advertise for the shit. You know, I throw my videos out there and I'm trying to advertise for the trip. And like I said, I'm glad I think it's about 7 or 8 of us going so far, right? And somebody else inboxed me last night. They're interested in going. Another gentleman. I don't know if he's coming by himself or with his girlfriend, right? But I want y'all to know that the small population is good practice for me to be able to see how much I can handle by myself. But I'm telling you, as each year, each trip progresses, I am hoping to expand the trip and make it larger and larger. And hopefully, you know, at some point I can get sponsors that can contribute to the gift bags, the welcome bags. I can get sponsors that, you know, donate things to the trip or whatever the case may be, make announcements of the trip. I want to grow this platform, right? Because again, my goal is to get like-minded people together that want to feel, yes, another man, Aquanda, that wants to, that wants to heal, that wants to grow, that wants to do better, right? Like-minded people. That's what this is about. But not only just to focus on our mental health, but also to have fun doing it. All right. And so the trip is going to be a combination of games and a combination of unpacking our mental illness and our issues. We're going to have hot seat moments and all kinds of things. Hopefully we don't have many tears, but we don't want to lose sight of what this platform is about. It's a healing platform. It's a safe space. It's being able to talk about some of the hardest things that we have going on in our lives, being in a space where we don't have to worry about being judged. Right? So we're going to have moments where we're having deep dive conversations, right? We might even throw in, good morning, mother. We might even throw in a coffee with friends after dark, right? So this is what I'm asking. This is what I'm asking. Right? This is what I'm asking. All those that are coming, and it will be in the email, pack some sexy shit, because we might do coffee with friends after dark in person. Pack your sexy shit. All right. Now in my email, I called out pack something white. I called out order yourself a carbon monoxide. Okay. A carbon monoxide, portable carbon monoxide for your room. And I'm going to add to the list, pack something sexy. Pack something sexy for coffee with friends after dark. We will try to squeeze in coffee with friends after dark in person. Okay? I'm just saying, pack some sexy shit. This is an all-adult resort. Wear what the fuck you want, or wear whatever, less of what you want. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I like looking at titties, ass, peens, whatever the fuck. Do you? Okay? Pack something sexy. We're going to have a good damn time. We're going to make this trip a memorable moment. And I want to say this to y'all. We can never repeat the first trip. Never. The first trip is always going to be the special trip. The first trip is always going to be my staple, right? And so all those that are going, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for being a part of the first experience of traveling with Coffee with Friends internationally, all right? As a podcast group. We're not going to be able to repeat that. So for those that missed it, hopefully you join in next time, all right? But the first time is never going to be topped, right? Because it's our first experience, all right? And each year as we celebrate and we say, this is year number 2 and this is year number 3, it ain't never going to be like year number 1, right? So thank y'all, okay? So additional emails will be going out. I have Valerie, yes, make sure you order your carbon monoxide shit. I'm not playing with that. Please get one. Amazon has them, all right? And like I said, my suitcase is packed. I got a little bit of clothes and a lot of bathing suits. I have 9 bathing suits. 7 are in my suitcase. 2 are on their way. The fuck? I'm just saying. Okay? That's it and that's all. All right. So that's for the trip, y'all. So we got 27 days to go. Damn it. Your passports. Get your shits together. Yes, Valerie, do it this weekend. I will cut somebody during a meet and greet if they tell me they don't have their carbon monoxide. Get your carbon monoxide. I do not want no problems on this Coffee with Friends trip. I know, Angel. You said, damn, it's only 5 days. Wait a minute. Wait, I said I got 9 bathing suits. What the fuck I'm going to do with 9 bathing suits? I'm going to have to wear one on the plane. I have to wear one to fuck home. I'm going to have to wear a couple of dinner. No, it's 5 days, 4 nights. It's the 10th to the 15th. 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh. Oh, did I have that wrong? Wait, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it's 5 nights. Because we get there the 10th. So we got the 10th night, the 11th night, the 12th night, the 13th night, and the 14th night. You right. I said the shit wrong. It's 5 nights. Bitches. 2 bathing suits a day. It's 5 nights. Embarrassing. All right, fuck it. 5 nights, 6 days. I'll be, yep, dinner, Valerie. Dinner. You know, all you got to do is throw a skirt on with your bathing suit. That's an outfit. These motherfuckers, they make anything an outfit these days. That's why I say, don't pack a lot of clothes, y'all. Okay? I even packed I got my sneakers, and I got about two sandals, right? No, 3. Okay, because I have like my water sandals or whatever the case may be. Oh, and then I got my water socks because I don't like getting in the beach without my water socks. Aquanda, then be naked. The fuck? I don't care. You know I don't care. So the trip, everybody is paid, and I might have another person coming. And so I'm so fucking excited, y'all. I might have to recruit somebody the day. I don't know what time y'all all get there, but my flight is early in the morning. So I'm probably going to be at the resort about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to hopefully get in my room and try to get situated. But whoever gets there, I'm going to need to recruit somebody to help me. So one of y'all figure out who's going to help me on the day I fucking get there. Okay? July 13th. July is the month of understanding. All right? At night, I wear shorts and halters. All right. That's all you need. I got dresses and shit. You know what else? before I read this positive thought. Panties and bras. I'm trying to figure out why I need them shits. I definitely don't think I need bras. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I've never been one to care whether you can see my nipples or not. I never understood why people had a problem. Like, I have pasties that I put on just because I don't want to hear other people complain. But I don't have a problem if you could see my nipple imprint through it's on vacation, not at work. At work is different because I don't need them men looking at my titties. Okay, Aquanda, so you'll be there around the same time as me. Okay, Valerie, thank you. I appreciate that. You got my phone number, so you can text me on WhatsApp when you get there. I don't mind my nipples showing. So please, guys, if y'all see me out there in these streets, in these Cancun streets, with my titties and no bra, and you can see my nipple, just the fuck keep going. You can look at it. But, don't make a big deal out of it. It's just a nipple, okay? You probably going to see the whole titty before the vacation is over, so don't even worry about it. I will pack a few panties, right? Because I don't really fuck with them shits really either. But just in case I get drunk and pass out and roll over and shit, I don't want y'all looking at my woo-ha. So I might have to pack some panties. The fuck? July 13th. July is the month of understanding, all right? I will gain more understanding when I realize I am an important part of the wholeness of life. Author and teacher Eric Butterworth once said, I am an eachness in the allness that is God. His words convey the idea that we are all essential elements of all that God is. Sometimes we forget that every part of the whole is an important part. We fail to understand that every part of the whole contains the essence of the whole. When we forget this, we lose sight of our power and our purpose and the essential role we play in life as a whole. As children in school, we had to line up by size. At recess or dismissal time, a crooked line would delay the advancement of the whole class. If one person was out of line, the whole line had to wait. No eachness could go out to play or go home until the allness was in alignment. It works the same way in life. What you do, how you do it, when you do it, affects every person in front of you and every person coming behind you. That is how important you are. It is so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day doing of the things required just to stay alive that you lose sight of the allness of life moving around you, depending on you and waiting for you. In reality, getting caught means forgetting your importance and your power to affect the world and to have an impact on life. If and when you get caught up, some parts of life must wait or stop and is delayed in its ability to move forward. Until today, you may not have understood how important you are to the forward movement of life. Just for today, think about all the people who are affected by what you do and what you do not do. Think about all the things you have not allowed yourself to do and what an impact you could have on the world if you allowed your eachness to shine in the allness of life. Today, I'm devoted to recognizing the importance of the power I have to impact all of life. This shit is deep. I don't know if it's deep for y'all because everybody's not going to get the same message from these things. But this shit is deep for me. This shit said right here in the eachness, right? The allness is impacted. And the example that they used was when you are standing online in school, when you're in line in school, you line up by size. If the line is crooked, each person is held up. So the eachness can't move until the wholeness is together. That means that the whole line has to be right. Size order has to be right. The line has to be straight, or the class is not moving. How does what you do impact life around you? How does what you do impact life around you? You know, this is going to get me in trouble. I'm sweating. I'm having a hot flash. This is going to get me in trouble this morning. But the one thing I always say is I know my show is going to get me in trouble. But I want to say this. For those that love me authentically and organically, I tell my story with truth. Okay? And if you are upset about anything that I say on this show, if it's true, come on here and defend yourself. If it's a lie, come on here and defend yourself. Right? I have to say this disclaimer because every now and again I have to put this shit out there because people be trying to pin me to the wall for talking my business, right? If you are a part of my life and I have an experience, it's my business to tell. What I won't do is I will try to refrain from using names, right? So that it doesn't impact somebody else's life. But I have all right to tell the things that impact me in my life. That's what this platform is about. And so when I read this, when it said the eachness impacts the wholeness, the things we do in life has an impact on the whole part of life. Deb, you too? I'm going to tell you something that impacted my family. And I'm going to get in trouble for this, right? I'm going to get in trouble for this. But this is something we got to live with for the rest of our life because a decision was made, but it impacted the wholeness of life for us. One of my grandchildren, right? All of my grandchildren are well and healthy, by the way. Love them all. But one of my grandchildren, okay, one of there was a decision made by the mom to change the last name of my grandchild. Not gonna say which one, okay? And remove my son's name, right, from the equation. That hurt. Right? That hurt. You know, it hurt me, and I'm not even the fucking dad. That hurt me because, you know, I always say, you know, as mad as people are, as hurt as they are, right, in relationships, right, you have to take responsibility for the baby daddy you choose, right? And not only that, your actions can affect the child when they get older. You might think it's a good idea to change the child's last name, but what happens if the child grows up and wants to know why their last name is different from the rest? What happens, right? How do you explain that? I guess it's easy to explain. Like I know an adult person, right, who grew up where their mother had the stepdad adopt them when they were young. Well, yes, Shirley, but I could get into that story a little deeper, but my son got to the court late. They stamped the approval of the paperwork. And when he tried to fight it, he couldn't get it reversed. He never signed, right? They just did it because he was late, right? He had the wrong room that they were supposed to meet in. Long story, right? And so what's messed up about that is that the person that I know, when she started to develop a relationship as an adult with her biological dad, she went and had her last name changed back to her biological dad. And she was like, why would my name not be my dad's last name? It's like, why would you strip that from me? And as an adult, she changed it back, right? And so I want to say this, people, you have to think, this is a deep message. You have to think about your eachness and how it impacts the wholeness of life and everybody in it, right? It's something that we are always going to feel the pain point. Every graduation, every announcement, every diploma, every paperwork that's not going to have my son's last name on it, it's a constant reminder and it hurts. Because there was an eachness decision made that impacted wholeness. Now, I'm not judging. I'm not saying anything negative against the person that changed the name or anything like that. I'm just saying what the impact of it was. I can't debate their reasons. I can't downplay their feelings of why they needed to do it. But the decision affected a wholeness of a whole family. And for me, as an active participating grandmother to all of my grandchildren, right? It hurt me. It hurt me. And this is something we have to live with for the rest of our lives. But I bet you it hurts my son 3 times more. He's going to live with this for the rest of his life. No matter if he wasn't a good dad then and he developed into being a good dad, the mere fact is the last name is gone. So people, before y'all take y'all raggedy asses out there and doing eachness, remember what you do can affect whole lives, the wholeness of others. Hey Zen, hey Hillbilly. Okay. And so that's a true story. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for it because, people do stuff and then they don't want you to talk about it, right? But if you do stuff, feel confident in what you do. And that's it. Deb said the courts are definitely unforgiving and ignorant like that at times. I used to work there, so I know, of course. Right? Yes, they are. Johnny said, my mom changed my last name when I was 2. Okay. I'm thankful that my mother, first of all, my mother still has my dad's last name. I'm my mother's kid because I still got my husband's last name, White. That's not my dad's last name is Johnston. My mother's name is Sandra Johnston, but that's not her last name. She never went back to her maiden name. She kept her married name. So my brother, Tony, who has a different dad, he has my dad's last name. And my dad didn't care. I'm just saying. This is a good read. This was deep for me, y'all. So if y'all missed the positive thought for today, hopefully, you will get a chance to read it if you have the book. And if not, Theo, if you're following Theodora Carter, she always posts it. And so it's a good read. All right. Today's topic is, do behavioral patterns, okay? Do behavioral patterns mess up relationships? I know the question sounds strange, but example, visiting every weekend and then you stop. Call or text good morning and good night every single day and then you stop. What happens when you create patterns in relationships and then these patterns start to change? I'm putting the guest link up for those that want to join. Cheryl Lee said, it's not about judging. You are right. Our actions and our decisions can have ripple effects. It can. And there's a lot of people who don't give a damn about the ripple effects as long as they feel that they're not impacted, right? And sometimes people do things on purpose to hurt people, right? And that's just mean. And it's just mean. But it is what it is, right? I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to say, if you are that person, think about your actions, pray on them shits, meditate on them shits, and try to do the right thing. Think about the impact on the wholeness of life. My dad wanted me to name my daughter's last name to Evans than Mendoza. I couldn't hyphen it, but they are his as well. Listen, stop laying down with these men that y'all don't want these kids to have their last name. How the fuck about that? How about that? How do behavioral patterns affect relationships? I come over every weekend and then I stop. I text you good morning, good night every day and then I stop. Right? Is creating patterns in relationships dangerous? As life begins to life and those patterns start to change and people start to feel away, this is where you start to hear, you acting funny. You moving weird. How come you don't come over every weekend? And maybe nothing is wrong. Nothing might be going on other than life is lifing and you have other things that you're doing in life. Or maybe you're working on yourself, your mental illness, you're growing in areas and you're taking on new things and doing new things based on your growth. But the behavioral patterns that you created with other people now are changing. And because your life is changing and evolving, those patterns are also changing and evolving. How does that impact your relationship, your friendships, your relationships with your significant other, etc.? Right? Let's talk about that. Deb said, oh, Roy, this is so good. I haven't dated in so many years, but I said if I ever got into the game again, I would do nothing. So there would be no expectations, hopefully. Just kidding. Don't pay me no mind. But Deb, it's funny you say that because I was talking to my coworker at work yesterday and I was talking to her about something that happened to me. And she said, Robin, I have learned to stop creating patterns. And I was like, what? This is where the topic was resonated from. Me and her conversation in the office on Tuesday, not yesterday. And she said, I don't create patterns anymore. She says, I'm going to give you an example. I used to call my mother. Good morning, Kevin. She said, I used to call my mother every Sunday. And one Sunday, I didn't get a chance to call her. And she cussed me out. We got into big arguments. We got into big fights. And I realized that I couldn't always maintain consistency on the Sunday. So now I mix it up. I call her once a week. But sometimes I call her on a Wednesday. Sometimes I call her on a Saturday. Sometimes I call her on a Tuesday. This way, she doesn't know when I'm going to call her. This way, I'm not pinned to a behavioral pattern because maybe some of my Sundays now are occupied with other things. And I thought about that shit. Right? This is one of the big complaints that people in my life have had about me. Oh, you changed, you this, you that, right? This has always been a constant complaint with me. Goes way back, even to my best friend, when I used to sleep on her couch every weekend. Every single weekend I was on her couch, right? She was married. Her husband was, I used to call her husband my second husband. He's rest in peace. Okay? But then when I stopped going on the weekends, it caused tension in our relationship. And she was like, you don't come here on the weekends no more. Well, when I was coming there on the weekends, I wasn't in college, right? I enrolled myself back in school to get my associates at first. So my pattern started to change. Then I went right into my bachelor's. Then I went right into my master's. So there was a series of 4 or 5 years that my patterns started to change based on the need for me to grow in my life as an individual. So I could not go over every weekend and sleep on her couch anymore, right? Because I had school. Then my son got locked up, right? Then I became baby daddy. I had my granddaughter every other weekend. I had her 2 weeks in the summer. So I can no longer do the things that I wanted to do. But for me, I still held the same space in my heart for the friendship, but my patterns changed and it caused stress and tension in the friendship. And even though my girlfriend knew that I had all these things going on, she still needed the consistency from me that I didn't have the space for anymore. Not on purpose. How do we navigate this? Do behavioral patterns impact your relationships? How do we avoid this impact? Let me go to the comments. Hillbilly said, as much as I have patterns in life, I also detest patterns. I can't watch a movie twice, so I duck out of movie night a lot. Okay. Valerie said consistency is key, but does consistency mean regular patterns? What's the difference? Is there a difference between consistency and behavioral patterns? Is there? Kevin said, yes, I've tried to intentionally break some of those patterns in the beginning so that there is no issue when life happens and things change. That part, Kevin, see, I never thought about that until I had this conversation with my coworker on Tuesday. And I said, oh my God. And she said, Robin, my life has been so peaceful because now I try not to create patterns because I've learned life and it interferes with those patterns and other people are not able to adjust when your lives. And I was like, wow, this is the main reason why I lose people. But this is where the other day we talked about how do you know your friends are your friends? I never lost my best friend in Brooklyn, even though she cussed me out for years. We readjusted. She started to understand new people in my life, new things in my life. She started to understand I was growing. And it didn't mean that I loved her any less. It just meant that I needed more out of my life. I needed to grow. This is the direction that I needed to take. And so my patterns changed. Right? But we fought for years. And I felt trapped because I felt like, stop trying to keep me in these patterns. I cannot maintain these patterns and still grow in the direction that I'm growing. I'm exhausted. I can't balance the two. So I became resentful. And I almost didn't want to be her friend. But this is how you know when your friend is your friend. She said, fuck you, bitch. You're not quitting me. We're going to work through this. And we did. Right? How do you manage life and maintain patterns in your relationship? When people start saying, oh, you moving funny. No, I'm not moving funny. I just can't maintain the pattern that I set because life is lifing for me right now. Deb said, now, of course, some things we just naturally do. But when life gets to lifing, the things we did as a courtesy or because we wanted to be helpful can become a hardship. But the people impacted don't always show grace and will get upset with you, sometimes intentionally and sometimes not. And that's hard to keep up. So I would rather not do anything out of my norm. Damn, that fucking part. This is how I lost some people in my life, because my patterns became inconsistent. It wasn't that I disrespected them. It wasn't that I mistreated them, right? It was that life lifed, right? And you know what kills me is that I try to place when people in my life start falling off the map, and normally it's when my life is really at a critical point. The first time when me and my best friend was having these behavioral pattern arguments, right? My son got locked up. I moved out of my house away from my toxic ex. I was in college. You know, all of these three things was new that affected me and impacted my patterns with my best friend. I could no longer spend all that time with her because I had all of this going on, right? And she didn't understand it. She thought, no, fuck that. You could still do this and this. And I was like, no, the fuck, I can't. It became a hardship. I started to get mad. I started to get resentful. I started not even to want the friendship. I was like, fuck it. I don't want it. How do we balance life and patterns? How do we do it? How do we get the message across to people that when life things change, it's not about moving funny or acting funny, right? Give people grace. And what I was saying was, I realized that in the most critical times in my life, those three things was happening. I had a problem with my best friend, but we survived that, because that's how you know your friends are your friends, right? And then I had a set of people in my life that I thought were my friends. And when my life started lifing, I separated. I got single 3 years ago. Y'all know I was single as of 3 years ago. Okay. My podcast, I've been elevating my podcast, planning my trips, right? Being that I live here by myself, I pay all these bills by myself. I run these businesses by myself. I don't have help, right? And so in expanding my business, I met new people, right? New people that support me, that I'm feeding into them and they're feeding into me, and I'm feeding into my platform. So life is lifing again for me. Single, hustling, survival mode, expanding, meeting people based on my podcast and my platform, right? And so the people that were in my life, my patterns started to change because I needed time and bandwidth to now deal with this. And again, here I am dealing with these three things, and there's a set of people that needed me to be consistent in my patterns, but yet they didn't realize, hello, I'm dealing with all of this. Nobody over here helping me with this, but you just fucking crying about you need me to be in your face every 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take the advice of my coworker. I'm going to try my fucking best not to create patterns. I'm going to be zigzaggedy the fuck. Because patterns to me has impacted relationships in my life. Some people don't know how to be flexible and change. Some people don't know how to look outside of themselves and see that you got other shit going on and give you grace. They only give a fuck about what you can do for them, how much time you can spend for them. How do you know your friends are your friends? That was the topic the other day. Real friends don't put those kind of burdens on you. In my opinion, right? Pat said those people who are resistant to change have difficulty when patterns change. Patterns can be a bit much. It usually makes you feel obligated. Oh my God, Pat! That part. Pat. That's how I felt. The things that were joyful for me, that became patterns, I no longer enjoyed them. It was like, oh God, let me go the fuck over here before they fucking complain. it became obligation. Do you really want me to be in your face out of obligation, or do you want me to be there because I enjoy being there? Hillbilly said behavioral patterns have had no consistency since the early 1900s. As we have changed our environment has changed us. Shirley said, in my opinion, this is another one of those communications conversations. You have to respect each other's needs and boundaries. Developing understanding and problem solving in a relationship is vital, even friendships. How many of your friends have you had to sit down and have this boundary conversation with? How many of your friends have you had to sit down and discuss problem solving? Absolutely, Deb. Deb said, I have a request, Roar. As this conversation progresses, can we talk about the flip side of this convo? What happens when life changes and we are forced to develop a new pattern to adjust that's not norm? Great question. All right. Give me an example, Deb. I need an example. All right. I put the guest link up there. Anybody want to come on and talk some shit? Come the fuck on. Make sure you are giving me the thumbs up. I see 15 eyeballs here. I should have 15 thumbs up. Please. Deb, give me an example of the flip side. All right. What happens when life changes and we are forced to develop new patterns to adjust that's not norm? It has happened to me several times. It has happened to me several times. Every time something critical impacts my family, I have to make an adjustment. I have had to make an adjustment, right? Give me an example where we are forced to switch up our patterns that are outside of our norms. Hillbilly said, yesterday we problem solved for 8 hours. What the? Wait, what? Hillbilly, what? 8 hours. What the fuck was the problem? I don't know. Okay. What happens? I'm going to tell you what happened to me. Well, I did tell you what happened to me. Good morning, Jay Williams. Good morning. What happened to me? And I explained what happened to me, right? When you are forced because things happen in your life to change your patterns, or hypothetically speaking. Well, when you are forced to change things, like I mentioned, based on things that happen in your life, right? You are forced to change patterns that are not norm. That's what impacts, to me, in my opinion, it starts to impact your external relationships. For me, it has. I have gotten complaints like, you don't come visit me as much anymore. Right? And in those times, I was so angry. Right? I was so angry because I felt like, damn, like these people know I got these things happening in my life and all they could do was complain that I don't visit them anymore. But you know the fucked up shit of it? They wasn't visiting me. You know why? Because they never developed the pattern of visiting me. I created the pattern of visiting them all the time. That when the thought or the suggestion when I threw out, come see me, it was weird to them. Like, oh my God, I got to get all the way out to Jersey. Well, I got to get all the fucking way out to Brooklyn. And then the next thing is, but you drive. So anybody that knows me, that hangs out with me right now today, they might have only seen me drive a handful of times. My ass don't like to drive. I'm on the fucking bus and the train most of the time. When my friends invite me out, I'll be like, I'm on the bus. I'm going to take an Uber. Right? But when I said, come visit me, that was a change in the pattern for them. Right? They couldn't change their pattern to come see me. They needed me to maintain my same pattern, no matter that life was life. And for me, I find that to be selfish. Hillbilly said, me and my friends, oh wait, because y'all are typing the fuck up today. Hillbilly said, me and my friends get together and problem solve at least once every other week. Life problems, work problems, moving into the future problems. Sometimes I don't have my answers, but answers for others. Hillbilly, I love that. I love that. Where's Theo? I think that would be something good for her to start. I love that, Hillbilly. You and your friends get together and problem solve at least once every other week. So twice a month, y'all put your heads together and problem solve. Y'all just come with a paper and be like, what? Y'all list out. I love that shit. Yes, Cheryl Lee. Now that's some shit. That's some shit, Hillbilly. Much respect for you and your friends. I don't have friends that I problem solve with, but not that I can't problem solve with them. That's a great idea. I love that. But for that to happen, you have to have a safe space. Me and my friends, not your fucking associates, not your coworkers, not your fucking backstabbing people, but you and your friends. Wow. Cheryl Lee said, right, if couples in their relationship have to have room to adjust and grow individually, why wouldn't any relationship that's meaningful not require the same? That part. And so what I learned in my relationships is that when I could not maintain the patterns anymore, the dynamics of the relationship changed, right? Because I realized that they wasn't willing to adjust and feed into me in the way I was feeding into them. They just needed that one way, right? Like I got a whole couch in my living room. But very few motherfuckers come here and sit on it, right? Because they're used to saying, Raw, come here. No more. That's the old Raw. Life done lifed. And I'm tired. And I will no longer create patterns that make me fall into a space of obligation. No, because then it takes the fun out of me fucking with you. And so I'm going to do my best to zigzag the fuck around, because most of my life people have gotten used to me, the way I move and the way I flow. And when my life starts to life and I change, they get the fuck mad. Right? And so no more. That's why I say shit like, I don't give a shit about those phrases that people use. Treat people kind even when they're unkind to you. Fuck that. I don't know who came up with these phrases. No. Treat me unkind, fuck you. Right? Do for others even when they don't do for you? No. I don't give a fuck. Support others when they don't support you? No. I'm not. No more. To me, those phrases are all good and well, but to me, some of them shits are toxic. Because a lot of these phrases put you as a person on a back burner, in my opinion. Like, I'm not first, I'm second, because I gotta support you when you're not supporting me, so I'm pushing me back. I gotta be nice to you when you're not nice to me, so I'm pushing me back. No. No. No, in my opinion. Thank you, Kevin. One-sided expectations of standards and patterns. That shit is whack. Whack. Deb said, let's say you acquire a dog, but you aren't used to having a dog, but your new spouse brought the dog that makes a mess, and you find yourself cleaning up behind the dog, etc. Me, I did that. I got a dog, and my ex was like, if you bring a dog in here, I'm leaving you. I strolled in with the dog. Mink. That was Jinx. That was my first dog. Came out the shower, and that motherfucker was sitting on the couch kissing up on my dog. He cleaned up after that dog after he said he didn't want the dog. He learned to love the dog. Right? Johnny said, I'm just getting to the conversation. What norms are we talking about? Societal or all of the above? We're talking about behavioral patterns, Johnny Hill. Like you go over your friend's house every weekend and then your life gets fucked up and you can't go over there anymore and they get mad at you. Or you text somebody good morning or good night every single day and then you stop because maybe you're exhausted, you got other things going on, and it's just not the priority at the moment. Things that you do people on a regular basis, and then when your lives, you can no longer do it and they get mad. Things that you do in a pattern that you used to enjoy, but now feel like an obligation because you know that if you stop this pattern, they're gonna fucking get mad. Good morning, Angel.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you and see you.
I thought maybe I would have to put on the call center.
Oh, no, ma'am. So what's going on? Patterns.
So I'm normally of the thought process that, lives. And if shit comes up, like it's okay. There's a lot of friends that I have that, we don't talk all the time. But when we talk, it's not, we pick up where we left off and nobody has hard feelings or anything like that. This past weekend, I was on the other side of it where I hadn't heard from a friend in quite some time. It's been some months. And I had called her and she didn't answer. And I called her on Instagram. So our grandmothers were friends in the 40s. Our mothers grew up as best friends. And we have grown up as like best friends / sisters because it's like a generational thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to give that background that, like we can't be closer unless we were blood. Like these are my sisters, right? So I called them on Instagram on a video chat. Neither one of them answered. No big deal, whatever. But then like the next couple of days, like they're sending memes and funny videos and all this stuff. I'm like, I fucking called you bitches. Like, what the fuck? So I called on the telephone and one of the sisters answers and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
good morning, side.
I called you on Instagram. You ain't answer. You didn't call me back to see what was wrong. She was like, well, that's Instagram. If it was something important, you would have called my phone. And I had to take a moment and I was like, she's right. She's right. And I have no fucking, I had nothing to say. I was just like, damn. Right. Like, so how am I not offended if, you have stuff going on in your life and we're not able to hang out or talk on the phone, but then I am offended if I call you on Instagram, but you don't reply. And then you go right back to sending memes again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was just like a moment of self-reflection. I was like, damn, like I'm that person. I'm that person that.
So how did you resolve it with her?
Oh, I just told her.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. I was like, you're right though. Cause when I really needed you, called you on your phone.
And I show the back of your hat. I got one in orange. Yeah. It's out in the back.
Oh, yeah.
For us with big hair, that's what we have to do. I have one in
orange. Otherwise,
yeah. I just threw it in my suitcase yesterday.
This one I need my braids redone. I have to put on a.
You're gonna rock your braids and you're gonna do the hair.
I haven't decided. I'm definitely not wearing my natural hair.
Oh hell no.
That is a no.
Hell no. It is. Hell no. You be stuck in the room all day. Hell no.
Right. It's gonna be a protective style. I just haven't decided if I'm gonna do sew-in or some locks or braids again. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. I actually take this out in another week, and then I get put in like a couple of days or a week before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this hair is easy to manage on vacation. I'm gonna tell y'all right the fuck now, because this is like dealing with your own hair. It's not easy at all. It's not the easiest.
I asked you about it.
I did. It's like taking care of your own hair. You gotta, it's curly, so it get, a little tangled sometime or whatever. So, I've been on vacation several times with it. I swam with this hair a lot. And so I've gotten accustomed to, I've been, weaving this hair in for what? Almost 2 years now.
Wow, yeah.
Right. And at different lengths, of course. And so, I'm comfortable going away with it, but it ain't, it'll be wrapped up sometimes. It ain't gonna get wet all the fucking time. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
But braids, you can wet that shit all the time.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. But I don't feel like sitting for braids. I mean,
I got somebody that's quick. Boy, she take about 4 hours. That's
I
it.
can't even. Well, what I'm gonna do? Fly to Chicago?
You could.
I could.
You could.
I could fly there and get my hair braided real quick. Hillbilly said, "Oh, I read that. Let me go up. I'm just getting to the conversation. I read that. Pat said nothing happens with the friendship. If you are true friends, Robin, your mom and aunt, we will always be friends. This is Pat. She and my mother and my aunt grew up together. Right?
Okay.
We will always be friends. Sometimes we don't speak for months, even years. No judgment or put downs. And that's true.
That's beautiful.
They grew up together.
That is beautiful.
They did. And I spent the most time I spent with Pat was on my mother's birthday cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed you, Pat. I do. I did, and I do. Hillbilly said yesterday it was Corey's news of a bun in the oven. My business plan. My brother's diabetes. Wait, what?
Who having a baby?
Somebody having a baby and somebody has diabetes. So that's what y'all were unpacking in the session, the problem solving session yesterday. I love it.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I like it. I mean, I asked on here how many guys on here have guy friends that they get together and they show up for each other, right? And I had talked about seeing that show up on Love and Hip Hop with Scrappy and all of them. And I was like, in real life, do men have that? And a lot of the guys that I asked was like, no. So to hear Hillbilly say every 2 weeks, y'all motherfuckers get in a circle and problem solve, that's some support for your ass.
So my boyfriend has this group of friends and they're all truckers. They all drive trucks, right? And they have like a group chat and they talk all fucking day long.
I love it.
All day long, they have a group chat. They're always when they're not trucking, they're texting stuff back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I love. At first, I was like, "That's low key weird." Like y'all all men and y'all be on the phone.
Wow. We do
like,
it.
Right?
We do it.
Exactly.
We do it.
Was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And after a while, I'm like, you know what? I really like this for you. I like this for you because, like, you say stuff. And then they'll check you on it. Like, no, bro, don't, that like, and it's like what Hillbilly said, it's a community. It's his tribe. And they're not supporting bullshit. Like these men call each other out on shit all the time. And I just think I love it. I used to get jealous. I'd be like, he would send me a screenshot from his phone. I'm like, you've been on the phone for 2 hours? Who are you talking to? I'm like, and he says, well, the guys. I've been on the phone with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really good thing. A really good thing. I love it. I love a sense of community for men because historically they don't have that, especially Black men.
Yeah.
They have to put up a facade, wear a mask that they got it all under control. Meanwhile, they're dealing with PTSD on the daily from just life.
Yep.
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 Okay. Oh, yes. This is from Yiddy.
Yeah. I wanted to share that. They have no-name brands too. You can go on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can go on Amazon and get them. But that's
Backless baseball cap.
Yeah, backless baseball cap. Right. So you can find them. So I love that. Where can I find one? All right.
I'll put the link for the kitty.
So don't you just hate when you're told, can't you call me? Why haven't I heard from you? These folks put you on a defensive that behavior is abusive. When you reach me, why can't we just talk? Thank you.
It's so simple.
Bad. It makes me wanna it makes me wanna isolate from people sometimes. Sometimes peopling makes my ass itch. It do. And and I'm a very social person, but sometimes peopling makes my ass itch because that's where the obligation for me comes in at. If I do call you, I don't want to hear, oh my God, how come you ain't called me in a while? How come you ain't this the fuck? The fuck? Can't we just have a conversation? And that's one of the things that me and my friend Doris, we are in such a good place. We went through years of turmoil, shit like that. But now when we call each other, she be like, what's up, bitch? And I'll be like, oh my God, let me tell you what the fuck I did. We don't get into, bitch, you ain't call me.
Where you been?
But we used to go through that. Now we don't do that. We're in a space where she done lost her husband. She done lost her dad. She done lost her mom. So now life have life for her. Where life wasn't lifing for her when it was lifing for me. So her life was stable. And she couldn't understand when I changed. But when life started lifing for her, and she realized, wow, the fuck, I can't keep up. That's when she said to me, I get it.
Yep. And it takes that sometimes.
And she apologized to me. She said, I'm sorry. I get it. Right? Lives. Behavioral patterns. How does it affect your relationships when those patterns start to change? Right? Hello, I am Jacinta. Johnny said, when I stopped drinking and smoking, a lot of my friends dropped off. And I had to go to them and be like, what the hell happened? And when we talked, they didn't know how to categorize me. I was like, why do I have to be in a category? Why can't we just be friends? I ain't changed, just my activity changed. I lost a lot of friends just off of that.
You're the same person. Same person.
You see what I'm saying? You are the same person. You just don't drink and smoke. That's why I said the other day, sometimes we attach to people based on the unhealed versions of ourselves, right?
Yes.
And people stick to each other because we have the same similar things in common. But when you start to peel away from those commonalities and start to grow into something that is more comfortable for you as a person, it doesn't change your personality. It doesn't change who you are. It just changes how you move a little bit. They don't understand it because now you don't share that same commonality with them. And so now you moving funny. You different.
Right. It happened with me when I changed the way that I eat.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I changed. Listen, you know how many friends? I don't want.
Let them know.
I don't know if I lost them, but like we don't hang out anymore.
Well, give me how you noticed it started. Like, when did you notice there was a change? Like, you asked them out to eat, and they were like, "Bitch, no, I'm not going to no vegan restaurant." Like, what was going on?
Right. So what the first change was, we would go out, and what I would drink changed. Right. So whereas before I would get mixed drinks or beer or whatever, wine, and then and then I changed it to just like vodka and water. Or a hard seltzer with like 100 calories and no carbs, right? And they're like, you drinking that bullshit? Like, why are you not drinking a Long Island? Why are you not drinking an old fashioned? And I'm like, because there's too many calories in it. It's too much. It turns to sugar. I don't want it. Oh my God, here you go with this bullshit. Like, that's how it started. And then it would be like, come on, we can go to this restaurant. And I would look at the menu first to see like if there's something that I could order. And there were like no good options. And I'm like, nah, it's not really worth it for me. I don't want to go. You never want to come out with us no more. You never, you know what I mean? But then like every now and then when I would see them, they'd be like, damn, bitch, like where's the rest of you? Like you keep losing weight. Well, it's because of these decisions. It's It's the decision to not drink the same things. It's the decision to not eat the same things. The decision to not go to the same places because you'll be tempted. And like, who the fuck can go to Harold's Chicken and not order chicken? I can't. You know what I mean? So you know what that means? I don't fucking go. I don't go.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's a handful of friends that like we don't, we don't hang out anymore. Um, because I don't eat like that. And then like they don't want to come to my house because I don't have bullshit here. I don't. Like I literally don't buy junk. I have no junk food. I don't have nothing to drink. I have water and I have some unsweetened almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And so how does that make you feel though? That you're growing in the direction that you want to grow. And your friends, you can't hang, or hanging with your friends has changed based on the change in your patterns. How does that make you feel in your friendships?
um I still feel secure in the friendship in some ways because I know that like if I'm going through something, I can reach out to them.
Mm-hmm.
But like the social aspect of it feels kind of shitty. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like I miss the social interactions that we used to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like for me, I used to feel bad when my patterns changed, and I used to try to appease. Remember, I always said I was a people pleaser. I'm no more. I'm not. But I would try to still deal with life as lifing and still try to accommodate the needs of my friends. But then I felt obligated, and I started to get angry, and I started to feel resentful, and I started to feel like fuck you, right? And I started to get mean, right? And arguments ensued between me and my friend because I was angry on the inside. Because I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this because I enjoy it. I'm doing this to keep you so you can shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the joy of it was gone. And so when I get around her and her friends, now her friends are like, "Oh, your friend is a bitch. Your friend is this. Your friend is that." Because I don't the fuck want to be here. I got a million things that I could be doing, but I'm here to shut you the fuck up. But
Yeah.
inside, I'm miserable,
I
right?
don't do that.
And
I
this
can't.
is where I said, when people say, "Oh, put yourself first, do what makes you happy," they don't. A lot of motherfuckers don't mean it.
It's put yourself first unless I need something.
No, put yourself first, but make sure I'm first in there with you, and make sure you do what you're doing for me, and make sure you don't forget me. Right? That's not fucking put. Come on, y'all. The
Be
fuck, it don't even make sense. Pat said, "Wow, Angel, they were abusive to you. That's that shit hate. You take your friends, that also goes for you." Well, this is one of the things that I was talking about on TikTok the other day. A lot of us don't recognize emotional abuse.
Uh-huh.
We think because they're our friends and shit, we laugh a lot of shit off. We
Right.
don't always recognize emotional abuse. I was in a whole relationship with emotional abuse and didn't recognize it until I really started to get violent around here. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to fucking lose it, right? And I realized, oh, this motherfucker is messing with my mental. But emotional abuse is sneaky as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? And sometimes your friends emotionally abuse you. And
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm going to touch something that some people not going to like. Sometimes your friends are jealous. Right? And it could tether on real friendship or who the fuck are you, right? Like, I have had friends that I've side-eyed that I think are jealous of me, but not on purpose. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they mean to be jealous, but they are. They act jealous. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. R2, RT. The hoodie.
It'd be cold in the basement.
Okay, I love it.
I got,
Have y'all ever had a friend that was jealous of you?
And I want to touch on the emotional abuse, right?
Please do.
So, in order for it to be emotional abuse, doesn't there need to be an emotional connection for them to abuse you emotionally? And what I mean by that is that it usually is somebody close to you.
I
That
think
emotion,
so, yes.
that emotional, because if it's somebody you don't fucking know, they can. How can they get
No,
to your?
they can't. No, you be like, fuck you.
You
It
can't.
doesn't
I don't
impact
give
you.
a fuck what you
But I'm
say.
talking about your friends, your significant other,
Yes.
your family.
Mhm.
Emotional abuse can come from your friends.
Right.
You know how friends low key joke about, oh bitch, you think you cute because you looking good, or oh bitch, you know, like they throw, oh bitch, oh you think you good because you got a man, oh you going to see your man tonight,
Right.
or I've had people say to me, oh maybe your man is out with somebody else.
Like,
How
what?
about, you know, like why would you say that to me? Like, you know, I'm looking crazy. Like, you know, I'm like, why would you say that to me? Because you want me to be crazy. You want me to be upset. You want me to be miserable. To me, that's a sign of jealousy. Because why are you putting negative thoughts in my head? Why are you?
Right.
And it
I
could
would
be,
never. I would never say that to a friend. Like, oh, your man probably out. Blah blah blah. I wouldn't. And I have a friend whose man consistently fucking cheats on her. Like, this is what he does, right? And I never throw it in her face, ever.
that's what I'm saying. Right?
I'm like, I take the posture. Hey, if you like it, I love it. As long as you happy. You hate him today, me too. You back in love with him? Hey, me too. All right, listen.
Yeah. Johnny said, my friends would go to the club and come over to my house afterwards. And I was like, why didn't you call me? I want to go. They were like, yeah, but you don't drink no more. I was like, nigga, that should be for you. You got a built-in designated driver, but they didn't want to hang around someone who was sober. That was crazy to me. What? Like for me, you can only hang out at the club if you drinking?
No, please come with me if you're not drinking.
Thank you. I want to. Baby, you drive too?
Please.
You don't drink? Baby,
I'll pay you.
motherfucker, yeah. Come here. Come with me all the time.
Here's
Give me
50
Uber
bucks.
money.
Yeah.
The
And
fuck?
I ain't gonna get no DUI. Like, come on.
Right?
Come on.
Baby. Well, I never risk it all. I always take an Uber, but save me. Save the fuck me.
I cannot say that I have not driven home heavily and
I didn't say I didn't.
to the point where I didn't know how I got one time. Oh my God. This is so embarrassing. I was young though. I was so young and stupid. It was when the Sox won the World Series. It was that night.
Yeah.
And I was at a bar on the south side, and that's where the Sox play, and it was fucking lit. And I don't know how I got home, but apparently I parked my car in the grass. And the next morning, my boyfriend was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What's wrong? What happened?" He was like, "Go look in the front yard." And I looked in the front yard, and the car was.
Listen, Donovan is not on here right now, nor is Damaris. But one night I hung out with them motherfuckers in the village. This is when I knew I had to stop. I hung out with these motherfuckers in the village. We were at the underground, parked my car in the garage right next door. We got fucked up. Donovan kept ordering shots, right? You know me and Damaris get fucked up. I wish you could vacation with. I wish they were coming. Me and Damaris get fucked up and we do fucked up shit. We just do whatever, right?
Sounds like a good time.
Yes, we just do what the fuck ever. And Donovan always gets stuck managing the both of us. And so this particular night in the village, we were fucked up. And there's a pizza parlor on the corner, that I always love to go to. It's a popular pizza parlor everybody hangs out at after they come out the fucking bars. We go in there and eat the pizza. Me and Damaris laying on the table trying to eat our pizza. You know how you lay down and eat the pizza at the same time? And Donovan taking pictures and shit. I don't remember going to the garage, getting in my car. I had just bought my car, right? Getting in the car, I drove my car all the way from Manhattan back to New Jersey, pulled it in my spot. In my spot, there's a yellow, they used those yellow poles.
Uh-huh.
I pulled my car in the spot and I heard the ski, but I was so fucked up. I just kept going, ski, put my car in. I got out, fucking shit had yellow stripe. all along the front side of the car. I was like, oh shit. I stumbled my ass upstairs because I'm like, oh shit. You know, when you drunk, nothing is right. I'm like, oh shit.
Nothing's urgent.
This motherfucker wakes me up. He was like, what? I went downstairs. There's a whole yellow. I was like, oh my God. Did that really fucking happen? I said, I vaguely remember hearing he and I saw some yellow. He said the whole fucking shit is on the side of the car. I was like, oh my God.
Well, at least no one was hurt.
Thank you.
Bright side. At least no one was hurt.
No one was hurt. and guess what? It was buffable. So when I took it, they were able to buff it out.
Nice. Nice.
You know, and so, you know, I didn't have any major damage, but I was like, oh my God, because, you know, I was upset because now I'm like, I'm not taking the car to get fixed. Now you're going to have to figure this shit out. And he was like, really? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not doing it. You know, and that was the last time that I drove intoxicated because I was like, you know what? That don't make no fucking sense. Like, I didn't remember getting in my car. I didn't remember getting the fuck back to New Jersey. I do remember hearing the screech and seeing the yellow. But I could have hurt myself and hurt somebody else. And I was like, that's the fuck it. I'm an Uber.
That's scary.
It is scary. Very scary.
That's scary.
Johnny said, I hate when your friends categorize you. You're a fat, goofy, dumb, ugly friend. But when you break out of how they think of you, then you're acting brand new. I'm brand new, but I ain't changed.
Right, but they think that you're acting brand new. But
that part.
Yeah.
That part.
People.
Right? That part. I don't give a fuck whether I'm chunky, not chunky, bald the fuck headed, not bald the fuck headed, drinking, not drinking.
Right.
To the core, I am still me.
I'm me, motherfucker.
I'm still me. And sometimes them being jealous of how you transitioned in the way you look and how you're able to stop drinking and how you're able to stop smoking and you decide to live in a healthier way. People that inside want to be like you, but don't have the drive and the motivation to be like you.
They hate it.
Mad. And they attack you.
They fucking hate it. They hate it. And which is weird to me. Which is so fucking weird. Like, why? Why?
Don't hate me because I'm consistent. Don't hate me because this is how I choose to love up on myself. But I am still me at the core.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Pat said, yes, Robin, that jealousy makes them do terrible things behind your back. They want to knock you down a few pegs. They can be very destructive. You do better without them. And I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do. Right?
Yeah. I remember going out to restaurants, they'd be like, you can have one wing. You can eat one wing. One wing ain't gonna hurt nothing. But one wing turns into 6.
But I don't want it. How about that?
I don't want it.
I'm not explaining to you. I don't want it.
If I tell you no, it's a fucking no. It's not a keep asking me. It's a no. The fuck? You gonna be talking like you? The fuck?
Exactly. The fuck? Because I mean, seriously. You know? And so I wanted to bring this up because when I talked to my coworker on Tuesday and she was like, Robin, don't ever create patterns. She said, I learned. She said, because when you can't, and life's motherfuckers get mad at you. Mm-hmm. She says, I learned. I used to fight with my mother all the time. And she said her sister and her, you know, they still fight with the mother. And she said, I told my sister and brother, don't break just break the patterns and get her used to you zigzagging around, because if not, every time you change a familiar thing, she's going to get upset and it's going to cause tension. And it's a shame that we have to move like that. It's a shame that people don't realize that, you know, just like seasons change, right? Just like we have winter, fall, spring, summer, we as humans go through changes as well. And it's a shame that we don't give each other grace to do that. We got to do better. Right? We got to do better. But
can I tell you about a pattern in my relationship that has changed that I'm like,
yes,
I need advice.
Go ahead.
It's been 2
I
months.
was gonna bring up relationships because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Things start to change in relationships after a while, especially when you move in together. Things
Yeah.
start to change.
Here
So
we
go
go.
ahead, Angel.
This is exhibit A. So
Yeah.
2 months ago, I moved in. I've been here. We sleep together every single night. And the norm has been cuddled up, booed up, my head on his chest or my booty on his belly, like, we spooning or, body to body contact every single night for the past 2 months, right? And within, I say, the past week, we've been sleeping on my side and his side. And maybe our feet touch sometimes. Like I'll reach out. Like it's hard for me to sleep without some kind of touch. So I'll like kick my foot out and touch my foot to his foot. So the story that I'm telling myself is he don't like me no more. He don't want me to be.
Wait. I'm sorry, Angel. Please forgive me. My boss was pinging me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You used to cuddle. Everything was snuggle. You
Uh-huh.
put your feet on him, and what changed?
So now I'm on my side of the bed. He's on his side of the bed.
Why? Why are you on yours? Why are you not putting your feet on him anymore?
It just, well, I might like, it's hard for me to fall asleep without some kind of touch.
Yeah.
So I'll like kick one foot out and put it on him, but then that's it.
Is it because you changed or
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But I was saying,
it's not?
the story that I'm telling myself, like my internal dialogue is like, oh, he don't like you no more.
But that's where I'm stuck because you said he don't like me no more, but you're also on your side.
Right.
It would be one thing if you said I rolled over to touch him and he was like, nah.
No, he don't do that.
That would be he don't like me no more. But you're staying on your side. You never said the pattern was he rolled over and put his foot on you. You said you used to roll over and put your foot on him. You used to cuddle and all of that stuff. So
is it me?
I'm asking.
I don't.
Because you can't stay on your side of the bed and go, he don't like me no more. Because what is it you're doing?
Right.
What exactly changed on his behalf?
I don't know. I guess like it was a mutual thing. Like we were mutually.
Okay, so most of y'all would do that. You would get
right.
in the bed and cuddle you. You would get in the bed and cuddle him. And neither one of y'all are doing that. You do know that y'all live together and it's hot.
I know. And like, I know. And I think like the newness of it was like all, boot up. But like nothing else has changed. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know. No, I'm not mad at him. And he's not mad at me. It's just, I don't know. Are we just settling in? Like, is this it? Like, are we just settling?
I think so.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I just need to initiate it. I just need
to. It takes work in relationships, and we can't just automatically assume that because when you first meet somebody and you're not living together, you're doing shit like that because you're not going to see them the next day or whatever the case would be. When you start living together on a day-to-day basis, you get into these routines, these patterns. Right. Now you consciously have to work to maintain the intimacy in your relationship. You have to consciously work at that because you're now living together. So now you're falling into routines and patterns and shit. Right? And again, this is a behavioral pattern. Look what you said. We used to do this all the time, and now we don't. Now I feel like blah, blah, blah. No, nothing has changed. It's just that life is lifing.
Yeah.
So how are you going to adjust to the new life is lifing for y'all?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Nope, Kevin, no significant event, nothing, no argument, no fights. We ain't had an argument yet.
This boss is asking me to open up a presentation and look at slide 15 and give my feedback. What the hell?
Okay, well, you want to wrap it up? I can go. I'm going
to have to look at this slide and figure out what the hell is going on here because they're having a C-level meeting and I guess they need my input like I'm somebody. I keep telling them I'm a peon. I don't know why they ask me all this stuff. Oh, ask him about it or jump into the touch tonight. I don't even think she should ask him, but that's a great
Just do it.
I
Just
feel
do
like just do it.
it. Just do
Right?
it.
Now get worried if he's not reciprocating. Then have the
Right.
conversation. But don't jump into your head and be like, oh my God. Cause I mean, it's hard. People tired, life. Y'all are in the bed every night. So it's not like anybody's in a hurry. You're there. So
And
just
he goes
roll
to
over
sleep
and hug
before
his
me.
ass.
And he goes to sleep before me.
Right. So,
So
Angel,
like,
you're in your head. You're overthinking. We already know that.
okay.
Roll the fuck over and hug him. All right. We
All
got
right.
to close the show. I got to look at slide 15 at my job.
All
But
right.
listen,
Bye,
guys, thank you,
everybody.
Angel. Thank you for co-hosting with me today. So I want to say, guys, we read the positive thought. Make sure you understand that moving as an eachness affects the wholeness of life, right? So when you're doing something, think about how your actions, affect other people in your life, right? We read that from the positive thought. If you didn't get a chance to hear it, please, if you follow Theodore Carter, she's going to post it. If you have your book, make sure you are reading today's positive thought. The other thing we talked about is, do behavioral patterns affect your relationship when life starts to life and you start to change in these patterns? How does it affect your relationships, your friendships, your significant others, whatever, right? Think about that. People change, we grow. It's not moving funny. It's not none of that, right? And sometimes, again, we attract people based on the unhealed versions of ourselves. And as we are going through a healing process and we are growing and we are changing, the dynamics in our life starts to change, and those people that are in our lives start looking at us like, you moving funny. But I'm not moving funny. I'm growing. It doesn't mean that you have to grow the same way I'm growing, but these are my choices. But deep down inside, I'm still the same person, right? Don't stop growing. Those that love you authentically and organically will still rock by your side. They will celebrate that growth. Other people will fall off. That's when you go back to that question I asked before. How do you know your friend is really your friend? Right? Things to think about. But with that, y'all, always move in peace and love. You know what I say? It's going to be a good day no matter what. I'm going to give y'all these positive vibes on the way out. All right? Take care, y'all. I love you.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
And you can.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hey.
Go.
Yes, Jay Williams. Hey. This is Coffee with Friends, and I'm Roy to Debo. Peace, y'all. Go up to now, never forever. Get this message. Hey.
I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I down through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't
Hey! Cause what? Anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when there's no slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, so no, man, still go. And I do, y'all. I'm out. Peace. Go.